All right, guys, you've got to grasp this concept coming into Simplify Sober Living. Really, this should be any sober living, but I can only speak to my culture and our environment that you're currently living in. You have got to catch on to what it takes to become happy and successful and trudge the road of happy destiny, as it says in the big book. You have got to put action behind all of these suggestions that you have. It's all right in front of you. Just a matter of whether you are willing to do it or not. I have pages of policies and procedures and suggested daily activities from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night of exactly what it takes to be successful in your life, to reach a place of happiness, right? Whatever that means for you. And as far as defining that, if you don't know what happiness looks like to you, first off, it will come to you. Second, do the goal sheet. Sit down and write out what your life could look like. Just start exploring the possibilities of what the means to the end is for you. Well, what the end is, and then the means to get there aren't so bad all of a sudden. So here's the thing. The moment you wake up in the morning, you start immediately having decisions on what you're going to do. And if you're not injecting positivity and health into your brain and your body right off the bat, as I suggest clearly, look at the suggested daily activities. If you don't know what to do, I lay it out so simply as far as breaking it down into like drink water first before you drink coffee. I mean, it's stupid simple what I'm asking you to do here. If you're not injecting positivity and health and wealth and abundance and success into your brain before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning, maybe not every single morning, but rather than just watching stupid cartoons or just nonsense on TV, and feeling sorry for yourself and listening to your head in the morning, inject positivity, man. Also, call the list of guys in your group, call your sponsor, all that stuff. And then, maybe you don't have a phone, right? Maybe you don't have a car. Maybe you don't have access to some of these things. Okay, well, find a book. There's books laying around the house. Your excuses are worthless to you, to me. In fact, they're dangerous. If you sit there and co-sign on your excuses and feel sorry for yourself and find reasons to get out of what it's going to take for you to be successful, you're just going to explode again. You're going to destroy yourself again. And I'll remove you before I let that happen, because if we see it, you're gone. I have seen guys become very successful in this house and through this program. I've seen myself become successful. And it's relative, right? I mean, I'm not a millionaire. I am where I am, but I've reached a great place in my life. There's always progress. And here's the thing. You think, oh, life's overwhelming, life's hard, there's just so much to do. It always is. There's never a time where, even if you win the lottery and don't have to work, people still find a way to destroy themselves in that scenario. A lot of us, my dad used to tell me, my dad was kind of had his own issues, but one thing he told me back before I got sober, he's like, son, a lot of money would kill you right now. And he was absolutely right. So what needs to happen is a transition in your brain and in your activities and in your habits. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, if you're negative, you got to snap out of that immediately and start doing this stuff that we're suggesting. If you do, I've seen it over and over again, you will be successful. Look at the guys around you that are doing well in this program. They're getting their life together. They're getting their credit fixed. They're getting new vehicles. They're starting to look at getting their own place. They're becoming managers, assistant managers. Their life gets better, right? And they didn't do that by accepting their own BS and their excuses. They do the little things that it takes to be successful. From the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed, what are you doing to better your life? And some of that does include relaxing a little bit. But how much TV are you watching? How much negativity are you absorbing? How much time are you wallowing in self-pity where you could be injecting positivity and goodness into your brain, your body, and your spirit? Look, man, it's up to you. You don't have to do this stuff. If you're going to destroy yourself, you're going to do it somewhere else. If you want to be successful, you're in the right place, and you got to start doing this stuff. Light a fire under your butt, get up, and from the time you wake up, the time you go to bed, every single day, be aware as to whether you are... life works like this. It's either an upward spiral or it's a downward spiral. You hardly ever get to coast. And I can tell you, these days, I still have problems. They're just better problems. But day in, day out, I am so slam busy from the moment I wake up till the time I go to bed. Typically, it's hard to get a breath in. So you think, oh, I'm working hard and it's difficult. Well, you have to get acclimated to that. You know, life is always going to be work. There's always going to be challenges. It's just a matter of how you process it and how you deal with it. Here's another thing, you know, step into the world of being successful. I mean, you know, it's cool. If you're tatted up and you got hoop earrings and you got your, whatever the things are in your earlobes, if it's conducive to what you're going to do as a professional, who cares? That's cool. Like, there's tattoo artists and, you know, guys that are self-employed who you can look like whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Joe Rogan's very successful. He's got sleeves all up his arms, right? So I don't want to be too harsh on appearance, but if you really want to be successful, you need to start reading what successful people do, what their appearance is. Start taking pride in what you're wearing, what you look like. If we own a company, would you hire you? Right? Because that's where you're starting. Someday, sky's the limit. You can own your own company. You can do whatever you want. Be a homeowner. Have a family. You can do whatever you want. Right now, you're kind of at the mercy of other people, and the opinions they have of you, the perception that you put out there, that's important. Man, I'm telling you, you got to wake up. You got to start. This is the foundation for your life. Right now, are you laying good, solid stuff in that foundation or not? If you do it right, it's a springboard. It'll work forever, man. For the last 12 years, sponsoring guys, the sober living, like everything I did for 2 years. I probably did it, instead of 90 meetings, 90 days, I did a meeting every day for 2 years, if you average it out. You know, just my life was all about getting better, correcting everything, and thoroughly, you know, digesting as much as I could about, you know, how to, I don't know, just how to change it, you know? And you guys got to get a passion for that. If you really want it, it's the number one thing. If you really want it, we'll help you with the details. First thing, get your goal sheet done. I'll have more modules put together and more of a course in time. But right now, define what you want. We'll help you get there, but you got to do it. And if you're sitting around being lazy, taking too much downtime and feeling sorry for yourself and getting into a negative place, if you don't snap out of that, we're going to snap you out of the house. You can go somewhere else where they'll let you explode. That's not going to happen in a Simplify Sober Living home. The other thing, we expect success. We expect you to become a badass and live your potential. That's where you're headed. If not, you're headed out the door, you go somewhere else.